I first met UMB when I was at the crossroads of my business. I had a serious problem, and UMB has made it possible for me to still stand today. How did they do this? They did not work and put me in a box. They looked at me as an individual and got a product from me which helped me to survive the period. Banks should look at it and see how they can also go that way to be able to meet individual customers, tailor products to suit the individual customers, and not to just box everybody together.
Allow me now, ladies and gentlemen, to invite Mr. Nana Bene Duemore, the CEO of Universal Merchant Bank in Ghana. And he is online going to make for us a presentation on the topic, Making Continental Trade and Digital Connectivity Work, the role of banks and allied financial institutions. Mr. Nana, you're most welcome, and you have 25 minutes starting now. Can you get me clearly?
Hello, yes I can, and good morning to you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and welcome back. I last saw you during the summit that we had last year. Thank you very much, and you're most welcome.
Thank you. I'm greatly privileged to be here. I'm very delighted to be given the opportunity to speak on this emerging and ever exciting topic to this particular group of thought leaders. As you know, Africa is going through a renaissance, and it is not dissimilar to those sorts of renaissances we saw if we go through the history of religion and go through the history that we have sort of seen throughout the centuries. In the days when Joseph's dream enabled Egypt to prepare adequately for when the famine hit, such that people traveled from all over the world then to Egypt for economic sustenance, right through the days when people traveled from the rest of the world into Africa to connect to Africa trade through religion. We have seen religion play a very important part or aspect in the development of trade between the continents and the nations of the world. In these times, we are still in the same sort of environment where connectivity is what we are chasing for the world's sort of global benefit. And Africa, at this particular point in time of its development, is offering a lot of opportunity for even closer partnerships and closer links to enable us to enhance the welfare of its people. So today I will be speaking about how we can use trade and digital connectivity and the initiatives that have been launched now to enhance our welfare. But more importantly, I'll be speaking to this group about how we can use our belief and our faith systems to take advantage of what is available at the moment and to build a world that doesn't only look after our souls, but also looks after our bodies. In recent time, we've known that Africa has a huge domestic market, which is available for trade. It is calculated that our population is about 1.3 billion, and the combined GDP we have is estimated about $3.4 trillion. We form about 16.7% of the world population, but our share in the world economy is 3%. And that for us presents an opportunity, even though it's a challenge now, but it presents a significant opportunity for us to grow. If you look at the world's goods and services by continent, you see here just how the other continents are a much larger share than we have. And I would argue is because over the years, they have built in systems that allows them to trade more effectively among themselves and take advantage of the economies of scale that larger groupings bring to us. Unlike Africa, our history is such that we have generally followed our colonial masters and created blocks within our unit, which over time has not worked in our favor. And so if you look at the Africa trade, the trade we do among ourselves stands now at about $129 billion, which is about 15% of the total trades that happens to Africa. But unfortunately, at the moment, we are trading more with the rest of the world than we are trading among ourselves. And so a lot of the opportunity and the advantage that trade offers for the well-being of the continent is actually being exported to other parts of the world, which presents us a great opportunity in terms of how we want to enhance the fortunes of Africa. If you look at this slide, you see that about 83% of the trade we currently do is with other parts of the world apart from Africa. Look at the success stories like the European Union and NAFTA, the Asian economies, and you see that a lot of their trade is actually intra-region as opposed to trading with the rest of the world. And that for us begins to give us a clue as to what significant opportunities we have to improve our lot. If only we could look to each other, to our neighbors for economic trade, as opposed to looking to the rest of the world to help us. So in terms of major participants, we see that there are various participants in these economies across the continents that we can take advantage of. We're very rich in commodities. We're very rich in terms of the trade in commodities. And the financial institutions are very, very vibrant in these places. Africa's manufacturing sector has been relatively low, and therefore we are stuck in this construct where most of our primary resources are exported at lower values into economies who then add value and turn around and sell it back to ourselves. So obviously, if we can get our demand going for each other, it could drive the manufacturing business case, which allows us then to start to extract more value from the primary resources we have, as opposed to selling off our primary resources without the additional enhanced value that we have. We also, once you look into it, you realize it's not only the lack of the will to trade with each other, but also the infrastructure that is supposed to enhance the trade with each other. It's not as fully developed as it should be. We still, even among ourselves, have border control and customs regulations that are, if you like, even more stringent than when we trade with the other parts of the world. And great opportunities we can look through in digitizing some of the ways in which we go through these customs processes with each other among ourselves. Today, if I had to import flowers, I am sort of more inclined to look to the Netherlands, for example, rather than to look to my neighbors in Kenya or in Rwanda, because going through the red tape is much easier if I'm going through the red tape from places like Netherlands than going through the red tape from places that are close to myself. Even transport alone from Anglophone Africa into Francophone Africa often presents us with enormous challenges to enable us to sort of overcome before these trades can be done. So all these obstacles is a focal point for us to work on to improve, if we are to improve the connectivity and the trade that we have among ourselves. The good news is, in the last few years, Africa itself has recognized this, and African Union have come together to set up AFTA, which is meant to unlock the potential that we have among ourselves. It's estimated that through the initiative that AFTA is bringing, we could raise the trade from among ourselves from the 129 billion to about 560 billion, mostly in manufacturing, which I sort of mentioned earlier. And it could increase the trade among ourselves to about 81% of the GDP that we currently have. So these are very lofty, ambitious targets that we have for ourselves as we set ourselves to go forward. And as I said, there's been a lot of work done to set the agenda, set the framework for these to happen. Chief among this is to enhance or contribute to the movement of natural resources and capital among ourselves so we can start to help each other and grow together as a group. In addition to initiatives that AFTA themselves have set, because as I say, they are setting a framework African Exim Bank have come up with Pan-African payment systems. And they're trying to work together with all the central banks to create Pan-African payment system, which should enable ease of trade. And what we're trying to do is obviously set up a payment system that allows us to do real-time trading in terms of with each other. If this is to work, if I sit in Ghana and I want to buy something in Uganda, for example, I should be able to pay cedis in Ghana, and my counterpart in Uganda should be able to receive Ugandan shillings in real time. In so doing, it should remove a lot of the red tape of looking to sort of change cedis into dollars so that I can send that dollar, which is the common sort of currency, and then my Ugandan counterpart then also receives dollars and changes it back to Ugandan shillings, which has an inbuilt cost in terms of doing business with each other. So this innovative idea, if I say, is something that has been launched, has been signed on by most of the governors of the central banks of most of the African countries. What is now left is for us to lead that collaborative initiative to get these systems up and running, but more importantly, to get collaboration between traders and business people in the various countries who are keen to use these systems and allow them to start to develop. There's a lot of work now being done by some of the fintech companies who have seen these platforms to build solutions to place on these platforms that will allow us all to start to connect with each other to enable us to ease trading and reduce the cost of the trading that we have in there. If this slide is a very insightful one because it tells us the total cost of trade between a country like Ghana and its various trading partners over the years. And one of the things you'd see, which makes it very, very insightful for us, is that the cost of trade between Ghana and, if you like, the USA, compared to the cost of trade between Ghana and Nigeria. If you look at the figures for 2015 to 2019, it is actually cheaper to do trade with the United States than to do trade with very close neighbor, Nigeria. And these are the obstacles that we have to work together as a group to unlock. What are the reasons why I could do a trade with United Kingdom at an average of 139.7 versus Zambia at 235 or versus Kenya at 314. These are the things that AFTA is seeking to unravel and to work together to build a system that removes the red tape. And some of these ways of doing this is to have a common way in which we do customs and to create a common platform where we can do these things, and common tariffs to enable us to have reciprocity among ourselves in terms of tariffs and duties, which then helps us to now begin to realize this dream or this vision of doing trade among ourselves for the benefits of each other. So there's a lot of data. We could go on for a long time, but what is the role of banks and financial institutions in this? Our role is to look at the platforms that are being built and to talk to our customers and try and develop solutions that our customers can use. Now, in doing this, working with faith-based organizations is a very critical aspect of this. One thing that unites people more than anything else is our belief systems, our value systems, and our faith. Our faith unites us beyond boundaries. And so we can look forward to a future where we have Muslims who are in Ghana working through collaboration through Muslim societies in maybe Ethiopia. And over and above sharing faith and sharing issues of faith, we also can have discussions around needs of goods and services, and then have collaborative associations where we design products and services that can work through various associations and cooperatives across the two different nations and take advantage of the infrastructure that the banks and the allied financial services are building to be able to do that. The banks and allied financial services are investing quite heavily to build this. After it is built, we need users to use it. And for the users to use it, we now need to break the barrier between users who live in different economies and different parts of the world with different cultures. The one unifying culture would be the faith, would be religion. And that enables us to reduce barriers as quickly as possible. More than anything else can reduce the barriers. So the future of connectivity, in my opinion, relies heavily on these groups or organizations who share a common belief and a common system and a common vision for their lives, which can then be used or extended into creating trade opportunities. The previous speaker was talking about how people were using businesses to extend or to propagate their faith. And I think that once we have demonstrated that businesses are not shy of propagating their faith in the day-to-day work they do, connecting them with others in other parts of the continent who are also on that same page, presents for us a huge opportunity to make this a reality. There are a lot of multinational agents, global and at regional levels, who are very keen to kickstart the systems, especially through digitization projects, so that we cut out a lot of the time that needs to go through being able to actually actualize some of these business initiatives. But as I've said, the opportunities abound. In the land of the thirsty, great ideas come up. And we in Africa are thirsty at the moment to enhance our well-being with each other. So as the governments and the organizations continually build platforms and solutions, it is now left to us, the citizenry, the population, to take advantage of these to unlock our financial potential. And for people of faith, because we know faith is the focal point of most African cultures and African nations, it is a natural progression for us to use faith to extend into our livelihoods and our well-being to ensure that we create a shared prosperity for ourselves on our continent. So with these few words, I will just say thank you very much and leave it for any questions that anybody may have. Thank you very much.
So we pick travelers, our typical customers are people flying in and out of the country. So we pick those from the airport to wherever they're going and back. And we do this through a network of driver partners for whom we give regular business and improve livelihoods. They can book through WhatsApp, they can call us, they can email us. We just try to make it as simple and convenient, as seamless as possible for our customers.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.